The Man with the Yin-Yang Eyes. Season 3. Episode 13. Hello everyone. You see, it seems that everything is going smoothly for me, but there is little trouble. I keep looking and counting non-stop. After an unpleasant flight, I thought I would have some time to rest when I arrived, but it didn't work out. I got caught up in a misunderstanding with some locals. When I saw so many people surrounding me, I immediately raised my hand to ask everyone to calm down. There is one thing that I forgot. It was in my hand that I was holding a very long knife. By the time I realized my mistake, it was too late. Originally, the language barrier had become a huge barrier. Now, I raised the knife to the crowd and raised my voice. This is nothing more than a declaration of war. The natives around me immediately reacted. They accepted the declaration of war. It was not difficult to understand when the people around me started to rush at me. I understand that it's too late to explain it now. In front of my eyes were three muscular men, each of whom had extremely angry expressions on their face. Looking into their eyes, I could feel the determination to take my life. Not to the point of having to go bare-handed to deal with these angry people, but I can't use the knife in my hand to hurt anyone. Once there is bloodshed, it will be impossible to resolve this misunderstanding, so I could only resist with great difficulty the dangerous attacks. I don't know if the indigenous people here have learned martial arts. Still, their attacks are very coherent, unlike ordinary farmers. Fortunately, my master taught me martial arts from a young age. Otherwise, I would be a pile of minced meat by now. Avoiding attacks forever is also not a good way. I started attacking to protect myself. If I can't use a knife, I'll use my fist. I continuously launched extremely fast attacks towards those who wanted to get close to me. The knife in my hand now reluctantly became a shield for me to resist the slashes. Another advantage for me is that there are too many people in this room. If it's an empty lot, it's a huge advantage, but here, the more people there are, the more entangled it becomes. Taking advantage of this, I rushed at a guy near me, deliberately knocked him into the crowd behind. Thanks to that, I created a little space for myself. Taking the opportunity that the crowd didn't have time to approach me again, I immediately ran away, my target being the room's window. I knew that I wouldn't be able to hold out much longer with this many opponents if I lingered. As soon as I jumped out of the window, I fell to the ground. Trying to suppress the pain, I got up and continued to run. Once again, the enemy's overwhelming number of people saved me from dying. Seeing me fall, the people behind realized a good opportunity to attack me. They scrambled to climb out of the window. The result was stuck in a block. No one could get out. By the time someone was able to get out of the window, I was already standing up. Temporarily get out of the danger zone. But I know that such luck won't happen again. Just fall once again and I'm dead. I must admit that I have never run so fast in my life. At my current speed, I think I can compete in the Olympics. As I ran, I called Big D to help me, but even though I screamed until my throat was hoarse, there was still no movement in the house. By the time I ran into the house, I couldn't hold it anymore. While I was being chased and screaming like an earthquake, this damn fat guy was able to sleep soundly. I threw my feet up high. Then you know what happens next. A kick like heaven hit Big D's round belly, causing him to jump up. The pain caused Big D to immediately wake up. He immediately turned to me and cursed loudly. At this moment, two people with knives entered the room. Although Big D was still very angry because of my actions, Big D was also startled when he saw this scene. Hurrying to hug me, Big D asked, "Hey kid, what did you do while I was sleeping? Don't tell me you made fun of that big fat woman's daughter." Suddenly woke up in the night and some people with knives burst into the room. It was understandable that Big D was scared. He kept asking me what had happened. But I don't know what I did wrong. How can I explain it to Big D? I told him that I didn't know what the hell was going on. After a few seconds of panic passed, Big D regained his composure. He then loudly asked who these strangers were and why they attacked us for no reason. Seeing Big D's attitude like that, the people present began to feel a little afraid, because I was already hard to deal with, and now another big guy made them stop. I guess they were calculating whether to rush at us immediately or slowly find another way to control the two of us idiots. While everyone did not know what to do, Leo appeared, just standing still looking at each other. It wasn't until now that loud noises could wake him up. As he looked at me, he grumbled that he didn't understand what the two of us were doing without sleeping, but he immediately woke up when he saw the angry people standing in his house. Like Big D, he didn't understand what was happening. Still, they were all acquaintances anyway, so Leo immediately ran towards the angry villagers. Running over to him while soothing them, he said that there must be some misunderstanding here. Let's all tell him everything so we can work it out together. Leo used the vernacular to talk to the villagers. I don't understand what he's saying, but I guess he's trying to explain to everyone that we're people from other places. There's a lot we don't know about manners here. At this point, an angry man spoke up, and while he said he pointed his finger at me, judging from Leo's attitude, I seemed to have done something very serious. Seeing Leo's attitude, Big D also had to seriously think about what I did. He approached me and said, "Gregory, it seems the situation is not as simple as I thought. Tell me the truth. What did you do while I was sleeping? There's no way all the villagers would chase you down over such a small matter." While I still don't know how to explain it to Big D, Leo is back. He said that the villagers were angry because they thought I intended to steal the bodies of their loved ones. Hearing this, I couldn't help but be surprised. I don't understand where they got that idea from. Unable to bear the injustice any longer, I loudly explained to Leo, telling him to translate for the villagers to understand. Originally, I entered that house because I saw two ghosts in front of the house. I was afraid that those ghosts would harm people in the house, so I followed them. At this moment, I also asked Leo to ask the man who was in the house why there were two bodies in his house. I suspect that he has something to do with the deaths of those two. I thought that after saying this, I would get the support of Big D and Leo, but it's the exact opposite. Now they both looked at me like an idiot. Unable to hold back any longer, I finally turned to Big D to ask what was wrong with what I just said. At this point, Big D understood everything. He put his arm around my shoulder and started saying, "Next time before going to a certain country, you should learn the customs there. We're in Indonesia, kid. Here, it's very common to leave a loved one's body in the house. Nothing weird, you're embarrassing me." Feeling hurt when Big D called me ignorant, I still tried to argue. What's so strange about this custom? The dead must be buried. Why keep it in the house? Big D also had to wince at my stubbornness. He continued to explain to me, "It's not that they don't have a funeral, but it's not the time. After the death of a loved one, the body will be left in the house for a while. Then a mage will come to take the dead person to the burial place." By this time, I had completely surrendered, saying nothing more. There is not always a chance to face me, so Big D continues to speak. "Do you know how expensive it is to hire a mage to lead these people to a burial place? Not everyone prepares enough money when their loved one dies, so they are forced to leave the body of their loved one in the house. When they earn enough money, they will take it to burial. By the way, have you touched those bodies yet?" Hearing this, I could only shake my head. After knowing that I hadn't touched the body of the dead, Big D was a little more relaxed. He said that he should leave this matter to him. Approaching Leo, Big D asked him to tell the man that this was just a misunderstanding. Big D also offered to help him with the money to hire a mage as our apology for trespassing on his loved one's resting place. As soon as he heard that Big D would help him hire a mage, the other man immediately changed his attitude. Then everyone started to disperse. In the end, everything was resolved smoothly. This time it is true that I have to admit Big D's point of view. To some extent, everything can be solved with money. Time passed dizzyingly fast. Soon, it was morning while I hadn't had time to get enough sleep. Even though I was very tired, I couldn't sleep anymore, so I had to sit up even though I didn't want to. Now, seeing that I was awake, Big D explained more about last night. According to Big D, someone has come here to steal unburied bodies, so when people see strangers approaching the bodies, they are so angry.